Hello, beautiful people. How's it going? It's Alex Mackenzie here with another episode of an experiment called Life. I don't know what episode this is. It doesn't really matter. To fill you guys in, we're in Vancouver. It is June 13th. Last weekend we did a corporate. So we had a corporate event for New Floors. It's like NU Floors. They're like a flooring company. It's very cool to get that. So it was their AGM, which is their annual general meeting, which I don't know why I'm explaining simple acronyms that you guys probably all know, but it was really exciting just to get that, and because we did a corporate last year for just their one of the local stores in Langley, and then they recommended it to their board, and then they ended up hiring us to do their big AGM this year in North Vancouver. It was a beautiful venue in a hotel conference room, and they fed us, so I got to eat all the food. Oh man, that's my favorite part about corporates. You get to eat all their fancy food, which was delicious. We had some other comics on the show, so we had Simon King, Sophia Johnson, Chris Griffin, and all in all went really good. It was very fun, and I got to come down here to Vancouver. And this weekend we leave, so it's Tuesday now. Friday I'm in Kelowna. So I'm at Dakota's Comedy Club in Kelowna. If you know anyone in Kelowna, please let them know I'm coming through. There are still tickets left for that show, and they're very cheap. They're only $15. Normally my tickets go for $30, so you're getting yourself a real big deal. But just know when it's a $15 ticket, you are only going to get half of the show that I give the $30 people, so... You imagine? You're like, that's it. That's one of my favorite lines, actually, that E.T. does. He goes, listen, I still do stuff for free. E.T. is still going and talking to schools for free because I chose to do that. And he goes, and when I do that, he goes, I don't give them any less than the people who pay me $25,000. He's like, they get 120% from me no matter what. Dude, I just love that guy, man. He's my favorite. I see that... I think it was the Denver Nuggets or something. I think they just won the NBA championships, and I saw that they had E.T. speaking for them. And when I saw that, you're like, it's over, dude. That guy. If you want to get 100% out of yourself, just start listening to that guy, dude. He is the best at doing it, and he's so good too because he talks about he's like, I love the fact that you watch videos and you watch me. He's like, but I need you to become that. He always talks about, he's like, I hate seeing people come to conferences every year and they're not growing. He's always like, hey, I'm a temporary thing. Use me to get better, and then you don't need me anymore. But he's so good at just getting you amped up and getting you focused and smashing goals, man. So he's very, very good, which is very exciting. Obviously I'm here in Vancouver. I am on my parents' yacht. Which, pretty cool, but I'm actually trying to work on a new bit right now about it, because here's the thing. So my parents have always owned boats. They just retired last year. Now they bought this as their dream boat. So they're big fan. It's a 53-foot boat. Very, very nice, very fancy. But here's the thing, is you're not allowed to complain about anything when your parents own a yacht. Not even that you have to share your food with the cat. But really, the cat is sharing the food with you because it's his food, And that's the thing. My parents always describe it, because this boat is worth more than their house. It's wild. I always think of it you ever drive through a trailer park and you see a $10,000 trailer, and then they've got a $100,000 pickup truck in the driveway. And you're like, you need to get your priorities straight here. That's my parents with this boat. They have spent everything they have to have this boat. And, it's pretty wild. But it's when your parents have this, everyone's like, you're rich, spoiled shit. And you're like, actually, we have been using the same shampoo and just watering it down for the last 20 years. We've had one shampoo bottle. Everything was no-name brand. I always say, we weren't poor growing up. We weren't poor, but we grew up acting like it. That's the thing. Everything was as cheap as could be. No new clothes. You got a couple new pairs of underwear at the beginning of the school year, and then you're make them last the whole time, figure it out, and everything no-name brands, and no such thing as an expiry date. Those don't exist. That's a scam by Big Expiry to try and get you to buy more stuff. So you're always just reusing that. And yeah, dude, like I said, like my mom bought like one brand name bottle of shampoo, and by brand name I mean like Head and Shoulders, like stuff from Walmart, and then would just refill it with the cheapest stuff, and like all the brandings wore right off. It's actually really funny. I remember when I was what was it? I was doing my power engineering down here at BCIT. And I had to go stay with my uncle for a week. I forget why, but I had to go stay there. And I remember like showering at his place. And he had like Dove soap. And I remember calling home to my girlfriend at the time and be like, oh man, it's so crazy, like staying with my rich uncle. Like he has like all the nicest stuff. Like even like his soap is all brand name. It's Dove. And she was like, Alex, that's like the cheap shit from Walmart. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? This feels like lotion on my skin. It was phenomenal. And it's like, you find out that's the cheap stuff. I'm like, well, what the hell are we using? Like, I've just been washing myself with like, just like sandpaper. Just old dried up lard. I don't know. It was funny. And another thing, now that we're complaining about my upbringing, my clothes always were moldy. Like, I don't think my mom used laundry detergent. She's like, that's a scam. You just got to put it in the wash. And she would always put all of the clothes in the wash. She would leave them in there for about 2 days and then dry them. And everything smelled like a musty, moldy towel. And I would go to school every day and everyone would pick on me about stinking. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like showering, I'm wearing deodorant, antiperspirant, I got cologne, I got body spray, I'm brushing my teeth, chewing gum and flossing. Like, I'm doing everything I can do here, you know? And it's like, no matter what, I just stunk. And people would make fun of me. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just a stinky kid with a lisp, acne, and I'm overweight, all right? So it was like really just set life on difficult mode there. So what I'm doing to repay my mother is we're going to ECL tomorrow night. We get to go see ECL, and he's going to sing Kiss from a Rose, and it's going to be phenomenal. And me and my mom are going to rock back and forth and light up our phones and stuff. It'll be pretty cool. I've been trying to learn a couple of his other songs. I'm very excited to go see another performer because I think like you gotta learn from, doesn't just have to be comedy, like just learn from other performers. How do you like work the crowd, engage your room? What do you want to see as someone, you know, in the audience? What would make it more exciting? I always think music, it just gets you so much more amped up than comedy, right? Like you're just like and you're just partying. But I don't know if there's a way of, I gotta try to figure out how to incorporate it. I watched some of Seal's Instagram, and he looks like he's like walking into the crowd doing his thing, which is pretty cool. So that'll be neat. Hopefully he does that. My mom's like, he better do that when we're there. So if he doesn't, my mom is gonna be pissed. So Seal, please do that for my mother. What else? Oh yeah, coming up, the biggest thing we got going on, we got the Hungry for Laughs comedy tour that's launching in like the next week or two. It's taken too long. We wanted it in April, we wanted it in March. Now we're just trying to get it done by the end of June, but it's coming. The Hungry for Laughs tour tickets, the shows start October 6th in Kamloops. They end November 18th in Prince George, and we're trying to set history here, people. Canadian comedy history. We are renting an arena. So we're doing an arena back in Prince George at the CN Center, November 18th. It's like 3,000 seats where the Cougars play. Jimmy Carr is playing there next week. And never in Canadian comedy history has a Canadian comedian self-produced an arena show. So this is it. We're putting all our eggs in the basket. I believe in my hometown. I love them. I've got so much support there. After that special, announcing I was doing a show and then having it sell out in like 2 weeks with no marketing, 3 months in advance, dude, that was like phenomenal. I just couldn't believe it. Like it was something cool, man. So now we're just trying to scale it up. We're bringing in, we got 3 comedians. We got Ivan Decker, Simon King. We got Wes Barker, who's a magician, who's fooled Penn and Teller. And we're bringing back the lovely Arissa Kelly, the foot archer. And we got all new show. It's going to be very, very exciting, man. We're planning lots of stuff. And yeah, it's very, I don't know, dude. I'm very excited about it. Very nervous at the same time, but I think nervous and excited are so close. That's the thing, man. Like, you're like, oh, I'm nervous, I'm scared, but it's like, dude, that's excitement, that's fuel, like, you know? So, I mean, and if it goes bad, what do? You know, it's life. That's just what happens. You're like, well, you know, we didn't sell any tickets. Nobody came, and shit, hey, thought that was going to go better, which is something you just get used to saying. And you just learn and you try again and you try again. So I don't know. I think it's going to be fine. And, well, I know it's going to be fine. But yeah, just pinching myself. So mark it on your calendars. November 18th. We're also a bunch of other places, you know, we're like Kamloops, Kelowna, Vernon. Where else are we? Kamloops, Kelowna, Vernon, Vancouver, Duncan, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, Prince George. That's where we are. Those are the places. Tickets will be on sale soon. You're going to love them. Early bird pricing on everything, so don't wait. Don't miss your chance to get a deal on these tickets. And you're going to want to get them. Yeah. And then what else? I was going to talk to you guys. I always do this. It's like 10 minutes is a little short, you know? But I wanted to talk about like just figuring out like stillness, like calmness. I say that as I'm jumping around on this couch. Get ready! If you want to like figure out what you want, it seems to be like sitting in silence is like one of the best things for you, is what I've found, man. Like when I was camping in Canyon Creek, is that what it was? Gold Canyon, Marble Canyon when I was there. You know, I just was like, I put the technology away, chilled, and you just wake up and you're like, I'm just going to live in the woods here with my dog and hang out. And when you do that and you get rid of technology and get rid of everything, like you don't realize how much the outside world is influencing your decisions. I remember I learned this years and years ago when I was still trying to figure it out. I think it was like 26, 27. I was going to therapy. And I was saying how like my phone gives me anxiety. Like I always am just like scrolling and looking and having to like do these things. And this was before I was really doing comedy. But it was like, my therapist was like, well, try to take a break from your phone, you know? And me being the lunatic I am, I always do everything to the like 10th degree. So I'm like, that's it. I'm shutting my phone off for a week. I told my mom I'm shutting my phone off for a week. Don't try to get a hold of me. My mom panicked. That was like the worst news my mother could hear. She was probably like, oh my God, he's going to end it all. But it was great. Like I shut the phone off for a week. I just threw it in my drawer. And then, dude, you don't realize how much more present you are without a phone. Like it is the best. Like putting your phone on airplane mode even. That's like hitting the snooze button on life. Like it's just, mwah, like, oh, the joy, you know? Just so exciting. And it's, yeah. But then when you sit there and you're like alone, you really like, I remember like getting home from work and being like, well, what do you want to do? And it used to always be like, you would get a text message, someone message like, hey, you want to play video games? Hey, we should go do this. Like, or like even just like you'd see an ad for something, or, you know, you just, all these influences coming in, kind of steering you what you should be doing. But when you just sit there and you have nothing coming in, you're like, well, what do you feel like doing? And you're like, well, kind of hungry. Probably cook some food. And then while you're cooking food, like just, you're just cooking food. Like you just try and be like in that activity. Because I found in the beginning, like you're always trying to get, when I say you, I mean me, or just in general. I don't mean you personally, listener, okay? So don't get upset. I'm not trying to judge you. I don't even know you. You're like not present in the activity, you know? Like when I'm cooking, I was like, okay, I gotta finish cooking so that after this I can walk my dog. Then when I'm walking my dog, I'm like, I gotta finish walking my dog so I can go to the gym. Then when I'm at the gym, I'm like, I gotta finish the gym so I can go home and meditate. And I'm like, I gotta finish meditating so that I can, like, you know, go play video games. I gotta finish playing video games so I can read before bed. It's like, I gotta finish bed so I can wake up, get, like, you're just doing things to just finish them, and you're never like doing the thing you're doing. You're just trying to get it out of the way to get to the next thing. And you realize, you're like, what are you doing? Like, this is never going to end. There's always the next thing. So it's like trying to just enjoy the activity of it. And that's where, like, one of the best things, even just hear a lot of successful people say, it's like, you know, on your road to, you hear, it's kind of like an entrepreneur type thing, but like just in general for any, like, one seeking self-improvement or anything, it's like, the reward isn't what you get, it's who you become. And that seems to be, like, the driving force is like, just look back and be like, dude, look at how much better of a person you're becoming. Like, you know, I'm very proud of the progress I've made over the years. Like I'm finally someone I can be proud of, and I still screw up all the time. Like you're just making mistakes over and over. But it's like those things seem to be the things that drive you. Like the mistakes seem to be so much more powerful than even the successes. Like, earlier this year, like, we had those, like, quite a few good shows, like, like that Prince George show was insane, the special taping, and then Williams Lake was unreal, and you're like, dude, is this it? Like, boom, you're just, like, packing out shows, and you're like, I think we did it. And you're making money, and it's, like, crazy, the rush of it all. And then summertime now, like, it's slowed down. The shows aren't selling as well. We actually have a show in Moose Jaw right now. I don't know what's going on in Moose Jaw, but we haven't sold a ticket. I don't know. It's like we booked this in the Herb Taylor Theater and then found out that it's in the public library. So I'm like, I don't think anyone wants to go see a comedy show in the library. Like, I think that's at least what I'm telling my ego. It's like, not that it's me. It's not they don't want to see me. It's the library. That's what I blame my whole life on. It's the goddamn library, okay? They have all the answers. Maybe if I spent more time in one. But yeah, like now that show, I think we're going to have to cancel it, which is like really shitty. Having to cancel a show hurts your heart. But it's like, figure it out, learn from it, try and find out what you could do better next time. And, but it's like the highs and lows of the pursuit. And it's very easy to be positive when everything's going well, is the thing, right? Like it's trying to stay positive in those times of I don't know if I want to say failure, but times like when things just aren't working right, like we just went through 2 weeks. Like when we launched a bunch of shows, like tickets were flying off the shelf and it was great. Like for the Kootenay tour, for the Island tour, like those tickets just started moving. And then it just stopped and we had like 2 weeks with no sales. And it's like, what happened? Why did what is going on? And then it's like, just keep working, man. Like just get up and like chase it, like work, keep going, like push through. And it's hard to do when you're doing that every day. And at the end of the day, you look and you're like, dude, we didn't get any, like we're in the same spot. We didn't get any further. And then you just keep doing it and doing it. And I don't know. I think it's going to work. I believe it's going to be the thing. And I don't know. It's very exciting. I guess the best part is right now, I get to test all my own theories, right? Like right now, I'm literally testing my theory of like, just keep on keeping on. And I get to try that. And, yeah. So anyway, that's been well past 10 minutes. Went on a bit of a rant. We got to keep these things short so they're fresh and exciting. So yeah, go to alextellsjokes.com, live shows, get your tickets for any of the shows. If you know anyone in the area, please tell them to come on out. Would mean the world to me. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.